Hey everybody, welcome. This is No Bones About Wrestling. I am one of your hosts, Asa. Hi. And this is our first Vince Russo Monday night watch along. Vince Russo era of WCW. We're going to enjoy on Mondays now. So the first thing you want to do is open Peacock. Go to WCW, go to Monday Nitro, and you want to go to season 5, which is 1999. You go to season 5, you go down to October 18th, 1999. Start it and pause it real quick. So you want to be on triple zeros. You want to be paused, and we're going to start in just a couple minutes here. But get your show paused on October 18th. Pause to triple zeros, October 18th, 99. So Russo was, this is Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara. Um, Russo was the head writer for WWF in the late 99, or I should say in late 99. And he was making about $350,000 a year, while WWF was making then record profits, millions and millions a year. So Russo felt he wasn't paid fairly, and kind of put out feelers, and he was doing Raw and now doing SmackDown and the pay-per-views, so he ended up doing about twice the work for the same amount of money. As I understand it, didn't get a raise when SmackDown debuted in 99. And so he put out feelers in WCW, and he signed a deal with WCW, signed around the beginning of October 99. And he never, not that I read, he didn't reveal how much he signed for, but he said, let me put it this way, I wouldn't have signed, he signed a two-year contract going through October of 2001. And he said, I wouldn't have signed 2 years for any less than $1 million. So it seemed like he went from 350,000 per year to at least 500,000 per year with his WCW raise. And it was what's called a pay-for-play contract, meaning whether he was writing or whether he was being left at home to do nothing, he would get the full terms of his contract. He would get all of his pay. And that is what happened. So his first tenure with the company, it lasted from October until, well, it didn't last very long, as you're going to see, because we're going to go through it here. We may watch the Thunders as well. I don't know. We're definitely going to watch the Nitros. And so, as I've said, go open Monday Nitro, open season 5, go to October 18th, 1999. But yeah, so Russo was hired away from WWF, and this first Nitro did a nice little ratings bounce because word got out on the internet and people wanted to see what happened. But the rest of the shows kind of settled as the weeks went on. They settled back into pretty much where they had been. And now Russo was not given enough time to turn things around. I mean, he was given, a couple months where really it needed a year or more for things to turn around. Because they hadn't gotten bad in 2 months, they weren't going to get fixed in 2 or 3 months. So I know a lot of people hate Vince Russo. I don't hate him. I don't hate most people. I mean, it's just wrestling after all. He's just a wrestling writer. Calm down. First off, calm down. It's a wrestling writer. But some of his ideas were terrible. Some of his ideas are great. Some of his things you couldn't ever duplicate, and no one did. And some of his things you wouldn't ever want to duplicate because they were so terrible. But I tell you, the positive about any Vince Russo show is that you never knew what the fuck was going to happen next. And as you'll see with these Nitro shows, you don't know from segment to segment, you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. You cannot predict where one character is going to start the show, where they're going to end, what's going to happen from 5 minutes to the next 5 minutes. He did so much switching around of characters and changing characters and changing alliances. I didn't think it was too much, but he did quite a lot. Like, he tried to use a lot of different people who weren't being used by WCW. And And yeah, so with mixed results, but we're gonna examine that together. See what we like about it, see what we don't like about it. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:01 p.m.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Um, so last chance, I'll tell you, get Peacock open and open WCW. You go to season 5, WCW Monday Nitro, season 5, October 18th, 1999. And you want to press play real quick and then pause it real quick. So have it paused at all zeros. And I'm going to do a little countdown here in a minute and we will all start at the same time. And Switch, I believe Switch is going to join me here at some point. But you got me, even if he doesn't join me. So we'll see. We'll get through it together, folks. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we're gonna do this every Monday and see how it goes. And yeah, we're gonna enjoy the Vince Russo Nitro era together. All right, so have everything paused, have it at triple zeros, and we're gonna start in 5. So I'm gonna count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play, and then press play when I say that. All right, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. Well, wait. Technical difficulty. Mine froze. So here, get it repaused. I'm sorry, everybody. Get it repaused. Mine will not play. We're going to try this again. I'm sorry, everybody out there. So I hope that's no. All right. October 18th, 1999. Maybe I had it paused for too long. I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes with it on pause. Okay. Get it back to where you were. Sorry. Get it paused to triple zeros. So I'll give you a couple seconds to get it there. All right. So I'm paused to triple zeros. Let's all get a pause there. All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. All right. So you should see the WCW logo come up there. We're at 15, 16, 17 seconds in, 18, 19, 20. And we've got a limo pulling up. 33, 34 seconds, 35, 36, 37. Just to keep you straight with where we are right now. And somebody gets out of the limo. Somebody else gets out of the limo. Some other dude gets out of the limo. It's Sid Vicious. I'm not sure why Sid has 3 like lawyers with him, but okay, whatever. All right, so I'm not going to do this all night. I'm just trying to keep you. Oh, fuck. I got to switch the link real quick. 1 second. All right. Switch wasn't with me because I didn't send him the link yet.
Hey.
Ole. I'm sorry about that, man.
Oh no, you good, man.
Sorry.
You good. I wanted to let you get your introduction out of the way, man. Good job.
Thank you, thank you. No, I totally forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I just, I thought I did it, but I didn't. So I'm sorry, man. But yeah, welcome to Monday Nitro.
Thank you. I'm loving it. Hype about this, man.
Yeah, man. So I've been talking about doing this, the Vince Russo thing, for a while. Kay's not a big fan, but I'm gonna make her a fan.
I'm not gonna lie, neither. I'm not too much of a fan of Vince Russo, but I'm interested in his story and his time in WCW.
Right.
As we open up with one of my favorite luchadors of all time, Juventud True Guerrero.
Definitely. Hoovy Juice.
Yes.
One of
The juice.
one of Russo's favorite luchadors. I'm not sure why, but he was one of his favorites. So, um, but yeah, and I'll have some fun facts and things about Russo and behind the scenes stuff as we go on. But yeah, as I was saying in the intro, and everybody, let me just keep you straight. And here in the intro, as we've just started, had a brief technical difficulty at the beginning there. We are at 3 minutes 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. And so I'm going to do that all night. Not as much as I have been doing, but I'm going to do that all night, just here and there, to make sure you keep up with where we are. Um, but yeah, it's something I've wanted to do for a while because, like I said, I don't hate Russo. Uh, Sometimes he's terrible, sometimes I love him, but I find it so interesting that he went for something different and he didn't really make apologies to anybody. And my favorite thing about it, even watching back then, watching in my bedroom back then, was you never knew what was going to happen.
Facts.
You did not
Never.
know what the hell was going to happen. And that's something that had been really missing from WCW. And I love WCW, don't get me wrong, but it got for a while where the show was first hour cruiserweights, second hour so and so in the NWO, third hour there's a main event with NWO where there's a run in and then Sting comes down and beats people up. And that was the show. For like, or Goldberg comes in and beats people up. And that was the show for like a year and a half. And it worked for a while, but they really didn't change from that formula. They stuck with that for a bit too long. And then everybody joined the fucking NWO. We had 30 people in the NWO, however many.
Yeah, don't get me started with that.
Yeah. But
You
so
could pretty
Russo,
much guarantee if Hogan was in the main event, he was either winning or it was going to be a clusterfuck finish with a disqualification.
yeah, definitely.
And this is post Hoovy losing his mask.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Rey
Here
Mysterio losing
comes.
his. No, that had to be. Yeah, Eric Bischoff was trying to get all these luchadors out their masks.
Yeah. Here comes Bret Hart. Like I said, I didn't think Bret Hart was going to be out here in the first segment, So.
Yeah, because I surely was just expecting the barn burner because I don't remember nothing from this show. So.
Yeah. I remember very little. I've tried not to look up stuff about these shows because I want to have real reactions to them. So.
I came here to the WCW to fight Hulk Hogan and win the World Championship.
And for those of you with us, if you just joined, we're watching WCW Monday Nitro. It's under season 5 of Nitro, October 18th, 99. We're at 7 minutes, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 7:12. And now here Here comes the world champion. I love that Nitro set.
You know, a lot of people did not like that sign.
I know. And wait, back here with the stars behind us here, I kind of tried to go for that a little. I loved it. I love the way it looked. Yeah, Kay might have been joining us. My mom has been. She's fine, but she has been in the hospital. Long story short, they thought there was some heart stuff going on. She seems fine. They think it's acid reflux, and they gave her medicine and sent her home. But so McKay is with my mom tonight. So otherwise, she would probably be with us. I stayed there last night, and Kay's staying tonight. So.
You talk about your time, and you talk about your legacy. I gotta tell you something, Brett. I got your legacy right here. You see, Brett, nobody cares that you've been screwed because we've all been screwed in this business. So if you can put your attention to Hulk Hogan aside for just 1 minute, I'm going to do something you're really going to appreciate, Brett. I'm going to give you what you came to WCW for. I am going to give you a shot at the world title tonight.
Juventud Guerrero's still complaining at the ref.
Oh, and Brett, don't forget, tonight on Monday Nitro, it's showtime, folks.
Stinger.
You are going to get your shot at the WCW tonight.
So just think, as a kid watching this, you start watching the show, you see that they're coming in with Sting and Bret Hart. You would think Vince Russo's coming in hot.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, that's going to be so refreshing to hear.
Of the greatest team of the World Wrestling Federation, but give a part of WCW. And tonight is their first night. It's their initiation.
Oh, so Ed Ferrara came with him at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Goldberg is going to wrestle the total package here a little bit later. Harlem Heat will put up the World Tag Team title against the Filthy Animals, and for the first time ever, this is why we don't know what to expect. We are going to see a New York evening gown match between Medusa and Mona. And how about the stipulation, Frank? Well, to win the match, you have to strip the other girl of her evening gown. Take her laundry off, everything goes. We're going to get down to the bare facts tonight. Right here, call. Thank you, kid. Following the score at the Sid Vicious, let's go back to Mike right now. Mike, everything off.
And then also one thing they didn't mention, we're gonna have Buff Bagwell versus La Parka also. I think there's something like 12 matches on this show.
Sid Vicious, we all saw what went down last Monday between you and Goldberg. You know, I've never seen you dress quite like. You were worried about the way I'm dressed, and what you said was great. What Goldberg did last.
Sid in a suit.
Yeah.
Today, I have been advised by my legal team not to comment on the subject right now But I can promise you and everyone else before the night is over, the world will know what is going to happen.
You know, I think Kate doesn't like Sid personally because of what she did to Arn, but Sid was good. He might have had a couple of funny moments on the mic where he messed up, but Sid
Yeah.
was good.
Sid was good. That's my thing. I try and look at him objectively. You know, like I don't know what happened with him and Arn Anderson. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've heard the stories, but I don't know what happened. So I just try and see him for what he did on TV. You know.
Uh-huh.
No problem.
And I know later the two of them, work together again. So if they can put it behind themselves and work together on TV, I can certainly let it go. I wasn't even involved in it. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
Is there a certain Sid that you like? Like I like Psycho Sid.
I like Sid Vicious, the man who rules the world.
Okay,
1993 Sid, when he and Vader were a tag team,
gotcha.
the masters of the power bomb. That was my favorite Sid, definitely. I mean, you put him and Vader together, it's like, oh my God, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna stop them? I think we got Vampiro versus Disco Inferno. So far, Sid Vicious showed up in a limo, got out of it with three lawyers. Juventud Guerrera and Evan Courageous were going to have a match. Bret Hart came out, and then he started talking, and then world champion Sting came out, and then he offered Bret Hart a world title shot for later in the night, and then we never finished that match. And then Sid was with his lawyers and said he had something for Goldberg, and then Goldberg arrived in a limo, and now we're going to have Vampiro versus Disco Inferno.
Get it, boy, get it.
So that's what we've had going on so far. Lot to fit into 15 minutes. We're at 15:17, 15:20 now.
Lash LaRue.
For those of you just joining us watching Monday Nitro, you got a season 5 of Nitro, October 18th, 99. And we are at 15 minutes, 36 seconds. Vampiro and Disco Inferno.
What do you say there, Tony Schiavone?
I like Lash LaRue.
Well, I'm kind of enjoying this match right here. It's good to see Disco Inferno kind of being put in this place right there, if I can't say so. You have a big opportunity to hit up and Slim Jim Halloween Havoc, and then it was number one to the fans. Before we get into Lash, don't forget in a moment, the Disco will be talking to you. But we have a big opportunity at Slim Jim Halloween Havoc to go after the cruiserweight title. And look at, boy, you put a fire into the Disco Inferno. Yeah, you got it.
Well, fuck.
Are you kidding? Okay. What was Disco called? Was that like the Charbuster or something at that time?
The Last Dance.
Oh, it's the okay.
He's making a statement or what here on Nitro. He's telling Disco right now, let's get it out right now. Let's see what you got, Disco man. Watch this. Can he become the cruiserweight champion? I think he's taking a big, and he's got the belt. He's hungry. And what's it? All right, let's go to the ladies division right now, Larry. Well, we got 6 nights left from Halloween Havoc. Sid Vicious has showed up with a whole staff of lawyers, and now all of a sudden he's got nothing to say.
Man, yeah, it already feels different.
Mhm.
Fast firing.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, he brought the present. Doesn't matter to me. 6 days from now, the same thing's gonna happen. No matter what happens tonight. Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, middle of
So everybody, we're not going to be doing Halloween Havoc because we've already done it. So after tonight's show, wait, I'll stop talking during this shit here. It's horrifying.
As you and I, when does our journey begin? On the seventh night, we begin a reign of terror and darkness. WCW. Fear me, you will. Stop me, you cannot. Medusa, it's a new.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was Dustin Rhodes as 7.
7. Probably the worst gimmick he's ever had.
Yeah, and that doesn't, you'll see, that doesn't last long. What I was starting to say, I got to fit it in quick because you never know what you're going to miss on the show. We're not going to do Halloween Havoc because we did it already. If you look back on YouTube, it was either this year or 2023. We already did Halloween Havoc 1999. So yeah, just look back and you can watch it. You can watch it tonight after this show if you want and see what happens on Halloween Havoc. And then next week we'll be back with you with the Monday Nitro after Halloween Havoc.
Oh yeah, we've been doing great on the internet on WCW.com. People have been logging in and voting for their favorite contestants.
And by the way, we should point out for the record, that is the way you can vote. Log on tonight to WCW.com.
Be a Nitro girl, and we have Stacy Keebler over there on the right.
So this would be the first time of us seeing Stacy, right?
I believe so. So.
Fantastic young ladies in competition this past weekend at Maui. Here we go.
Mean Gene before all his hotlines. I remember as a kid trying to get my mama to let me call the hotline. She never would. I'm not wasting my money on that.
Yeah, I mean, neither. Same thing. I try. For those of you who don't know, they used to charge you for wrestling news, charge you for the hotlines, and Mean Gene did a lot of them. And yeah, same. I would ask my mom, and no way. Wasn't spending money on the wrestling hotline. I mean, you spend $1.50 for the first minute, and then what? $1 for 4 more minutes. It's like $5.50, which. Today, that shit, I don't know how much that'd be, like $15 or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's Eastern time at WCW.com. It's going to be a tough decision.
I know, next week's our last week, team. We don't have much time.
What is this? Thank you, ladies. Regina and Vicky. That music sounds familiar to me.
God, imagine what the format for this show looked like.
Man. It's crazy too. So in 21 minutes, we've probably had about 4 minutes of wrestling.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah. I said there are 10 more matches tonight, though. I think.
It makes sense that you would show up, ladies, step aside, enjoy the scenery, and don't touch Buff and all of his stuff.
We still got Buff versus La Parka, Sting versus Bret Hart for the world title, Medusa versus Mona in the evening gown match, Harlem Heat versus the Filthy Animals for the tag belts,
Mhm.
Goldberg versus Lex Luger. Sounds like a pay-per-view, really, you know?
It really does.
Time, and let's just say that the Queen Mary has come in, and there's 2 new sheriffs in town, and they think I'm Buff, and I'm the stuff, and it's got them all up in a hug. And they told you this to your face? BG, I'm the chosen one. Have you been reading the internet? Brother, it's all over the internet. I'm the superstar. I'm the one going to take World Championship Wrestling back to the promised land. Well, you indeed are this. But now, don't forget, I won't forget all the little people, BG. So let's just get something straight. It's just as simple. I'm Buff, I'm the stuff, and I'm going to show everybody else.
So yeah, two of the newer big stars that Russo and Ferrara wanted to use were Buff Bagwell and Booker T.
Step aside and let me show you how I'm going to shine like no star you've ever
Yeah,
That
Buff.
was
I do remember Buff getting a pretty. They was trying to give Buff a pretty good push back then.
mm-hmm.
Shoot, if I was to, I know I got it probably at my mom's house. NWO Revenge game for Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah.
Buff is probably still my TV champ.
I love that. That's one of my favorite games, like top 10 favorite games of all
Oh
time.
man, we would play that. We would go back and forth between that and WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
Seen many a man look in the eye of Medusa and turn to stone.
Oh, Mona is Molly Holly in the WWE, right?
Right.
That is Molly.
I've never had an evening gown match, but I have won many matches wearing an evening gown just like this one. So I'm
Look
ready.
how young she looks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
There's Kimberly looking for David Flair for some reason. Okay.
Okay, now, your contract law, not your expertise. And you're charging me $50 an hour, and I'm not sounding pinchy or nothing. I don't want to sound pinchy, but your job's are what?
General counsel.
General counsel. And also another assisting per hour fee.
Yes, correct.
That's okay, because as long as you know what the job's to be done,
Now we'll be back.
it will be taken care of.
Yes, sir.
So since my last update, we had David Vampiro taking on Cruiserweight Champion Disco Inferno in a non-title match. Disco Inferno won with the last dance in about 3 minutes. Lash LaRue attacked Disco Inferno after the match. Lash LaRue had been doing guest commentary. Then Larry Zbyszko interviews Goldberg about Sid. Then we see Seven by the window trying to possess a child. And then they interview Medusa about Mona. And then they introduce us to the 2 finalists in the Be a Nitro Girl contest, one of whom is Stacy Keibler. And then Buff Bagwell comes out and interrupts that and talks about how he's going to be a star. And then they interview Mona about Medusa. And then Kimberly's looking for David Flair in the back hallway. And then Sid is with his lawyers again for some reason.
Oh boy, you are on it, man. You is on it. Do y'all hear that rundown?
It's wild how much happens.
Yeah, and that has only been 26 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of you just joining us, watching Monday Nitro with season 5. That's October 18th, 99. We're 26 minutes, 35 seconds in.
We straight up keeping it easy. And all that.
Yes, I can see a little bit of Dom in Ray, but I swear, with that mustache, I see a lot of Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
And if we don't get no shenanigans, this should be good right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had 2 matches, probably about 4 or 5 minutes combined so far. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes with Russo.
Yeah, fast. The pace of the whole show just seems so quick now compared to how I remember before he took over.
And for those of you who just joined us, watching Monday Nitro, Season 5, October 18th, 99. 28 minutes and 3 seconds in. We're watching the Filthy Animals getting a tag title shot against the Harlem Heat.
I hope they rip each other's clothes off. It's going to be a great moment, isn't it? We're going to be right here. This is why we like being the ringside. We're not going to be right here. I'm moving the tables open. Right.
Man, I'm glad you were able to join me tonight. I saw you say something about it on the internet, but because of what's been going on the past couple of days, I hadn't actually gotten to talk to you about it and invite you, you know?
Yeah.
So
when I saw the flyer go up, I was like, this was the surprise he was talking about. Because you told us about the book segment that you're gonna be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was a nice surprise right here.
Yeah, we got an unmasked Rey Mysterio Jr. in there. Like Switch was saying earlier, Eric Bischoff, who ran WCW before Russo, tried to get a lot of the luchadors to unmask because he thought that they would connect with the audience better that way if they didn't have masks in the way. And speaking of Eddie Guerrero, here comes Eddie Guerrero and Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson, the rest of the Filthy Animals.
Hey. Eddie G.
Oh, that's a great looking thing. Hold on the Kidman's arm, but just bring her all over here.
It's crazy. Rey Mysterio is still going.
And can still go.
Yeah,
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, there's one guy on this show who's still going, and it's Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah. Eddie's not with us. Billy, I think, works backstage at WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Booker, he has his own company, plus the commentary with NXT. Conan is helping run AAA, I think.
Yep. I don't know what Stevie Ray's doing.
Stevie Ray was doing a podcast a while ago, but he didn't got away from that. So yeah, I don't really know what Stevie Ray's doing. And Conan was good too.
Mm-hmm. He's not in his prime here, but he was still pretty good. And there's Brian Knobbs and Hugh Morris and Jimmy Hart. Trying to set up the new tag team division.
I can't see, my eyes are watering. It's a WCW. They're out of shape. They can't even stand in the ring with the Filthy Animal. I mean, how can you compare athletes like that? You know, like Ray. And how can you compare athletes like Ray and Conan to Booker T? And well, it's a tough comparison.
In Harlem Heat, you don't hear as much about them nowadays, but a lot of people would put them in the conversation of best tag team ever, you know?
Yeah, it's so hard when it comes to that conversation because you got
Mhm.
them, you got the Dudleys, you got the Road Warriors. Ah man, and then I really love Tully and Arn together.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a tough one, but they're up there. They showing enough up there.
Yep. Yeah, that for me would be where the discussion begins and ends would be the Road Warriors and Tully and Arn. Yeah,
Hmm.
but that's just me. I know a lot of people would say maybe the Hardys or the Dudleys. Yeah, Edge and Christian. A lot of people would say. A lot of younger people would probably say those.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're looking. What are you looking at?
Young Bucks very divisive. I know a lot of people would say the Young Bucks. I
yeah,
think
but
what.
Bucks get it done in the ring though. I got to give it to them.
Oh yeah, I think one of the better tag teams we've seen in the last like 10 years or so, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah,
That was an awesome tag team. Another great tag team, they were together for a
yes,
little while, was Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
yeah, they was good. Shoot,
Mhm.
FTR.
Oh, yeah, FTR, definitely. Whoa. Mm-mm.
Yo, the fans are into it too.
Mm-hmm. New champs.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. That was the first match that was really long enough to rate.
Yeah.
So my memory could be wrong, but I think they did that so they could make Booker T a single star. But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
my memory could be wrong on this.
Yeah, because around this time, it's like you said, it's when they started pushing or getting ready to push Buff and Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, Vince came in, guns a blazing. But that might have been the time that they didn't even need to be the champs.
Who's that?
Harlem Heat.
Oh, mhm. Mm-mm.
There's a party atmosphere tonight in Philadelphia.
Mama K said, Linda said hi. Hope you feel better.
Rey Mysterio Jr. and Animals, the new World Tag Team title.
Yeah, maybe they're watching. Who knows? Oh, I'm glad you're seeing comment. Oh, there, I see it now.
Little sis.
Hmm.
Sorry, we was locked in on this joke.
Yeah.
Filthy Animals did it tonight here in Philadelphia as they capture the world. Whoa. Hey boys, we hate to break up this celebration, but see, we had a title shot at Halloween Havoc against Harlem Heat, and now we expect you guys to give us one. Celebrating, knucklehead. So when we're done celebrating with our girls and drinking the champagne, then you guys can bow down and get in line. Filthy Animals know how to party. Looks like they're going to be fighting champions.
Know that sound.
I don't. I don't know who this is coming out.
If I'm not, you probably will once it comes out. I think that's the music of them. I could be wrong.
many questions to be answered. Sid Vicious.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I was wrong. I thought it was Muda. Ming. They say Ming is one of the toughest wrestlers in the business around that time.
right.
I did like him and Barbarian together too, though.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah. The Faces of Fear.
Yeah.
Great team together.
I think that was my go-to tag team in Revenge.
Ah. Oh, now Hugh Morris. We got Ming versus Hugh Morris. Hugh Morris eventually became a trainer with WWE and eventually became persona non grata because he was apparently a real asshole to the trainees and verbally abusing them and things like that. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but that's the reputation he got.
Yeah.
Well, if I couldn't crawl on the ledge, I'd put the glass up against the wall and see how. Okay, well, here we go with the next match. King against Hugh Morris. One of the members of the first family said, listen, we've got a shot at the tag team belt. You know, the hell we haven't decided what about it, and still nothing decided on that. What could happen?
I think he was one of the coaches on that show, Tough Enough, too. I think that's where it started. Where the rumors had started from.
Well, right now it's burning, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, where WWE got Maven from.
I'm enjoying their moment. Look at this animal man.
He might have been on a different season though, Hugh Morris. I can't remember.
Into a corner, and Dave just went right over top of him. There's a couple of back elbows, but I get him to do that as we plug along here, as we go into the night here on the 3-hour edition of Monday Nitro. I get wonder once again. We're still Sid Vicious hands. Now, I mean, let's call it as we see it. Sid Vicious going through.
Yeah, the crowd definitely into it.
Yeah.
It's a new WCW, and they can tell. I mean, it's energizing. Yeah, it's not the same old.
But you know what? I think by this time, with the way WCW was going, I think fans would have welcomed anything new.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Some people across the street were yelling, Sid, this is the match of the century. Everyone wants to see this. Well, they erupted. They saw him on the jumbotron out here when they saw him.
Yeah, I mean WCW, they found stuff that worked. I mean, it's wrestling, so a lot of times you stick with it, but they weren't taking any chances, you know. No, they just had the NWO, they had Goldberg, they had Sting and Bret Hart, and just were doing their thing, and nothing really changed. But as I said a couple times, things would change every week with Vince Russo, whether you liked it or you didn't. Shit was changing. Oh,
What's going on?
oh shit!
Oh, look at that cool dude with the Superman curl.
Everyone, this place is standing. That's got to be on their mind. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Get him, man. Oh shit! The Tongan death grip.
And Ming is the decisive one. That's right. Get out of the way. Get out of Ming's way. Fast. A couple beautiful dolls with him again. The outsiders on the ringside.
I swear that girl sitting beside Kevin Nash looks so familiar.
I didn't get a look at her.
The lawyer with the bald head got hiking boots on with his suit. They panned
really?
up quick on that. Yes, they panned up quick on that.
They're coming to the ring.
Goldberg.
So yeah, just for an update, we had a World Tag Team title match. The Filthy Animals won the belts from Harlem Heat after Eddie Kidman and Tori Wilson came out. We also saw Brian Knobbs, Hugh Morris, and Jimmy Hart watching the monitor. Filthy Animals pinned Stevie Ray. We got new tag team champions. Kimberly found David Flair, gave him her hotel key, and then the Filthy Animals were celebrating. Morris and Knobbs came and asked for their title shot at Halloween Havoc, which I think they got. I don't know. It wasn't very clear. And then Ming versus Hugh Morris. The Outsiders came through the crowd during it and sat next to some woman that Switch used to know, apparently. Ming pinned Hugh Morris with a tongue and death grip, as showed Sid with the lawyers with the hiking boots again, and then Goldberg watching on the TV. And now it seems like everybody's coming out to the ring. So and we're at 43 minutes and 55 seconds in.
In your lifetime, I bet. See, Bishop said, "Well, I get to see the they had buckets for this way." He's got a piece of paper in his hand.
I believe this is a replacement theme for Sid.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I don't remember this.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Kind of give me 80s vibes though.
Yeah. I mean, I like it, but it's not him.
Legal team, come on out. All right. Okay, there we go. Louis Cheatham and Howe. See, Bill. I warned you. One thing on him. Before our final destination. Stand in one straight. Wait. See, Bill, I want you to look at me. I want you to look into my eyes. Because I am a man of my word. I am a man of integrity. And there's no looking back now, Goldberg. There's no going back or turning around. You will give me the contract.
Yeah, we were talking video games earlier. They did make a video game out of kind of this era of WCW, but it was terrible. It was called WCW Backstage Assault.
Yes, I tried it. You know, I gotta try. If it's a wrestling game, I have to try it. But
Oh, I bought it. Yeah.
Not a fan of that one.
No. Oh my God. It was on PS1 and N64, and it was terrible. I mean, I played worse. Like, oh fuck. Maybe it would have been acceptable if Revenge and WrestleMania 2000 never came out. Maybe it would have been okay, but those had come out. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think there, other than the new age wrestling games that come out, there's never been a better good feeling of the play of a
Yeah.
game as those ones was.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. I still play Revenge. I got it in the 64. I got the 64 hooked up right now with the Revenge in it.
So on my computer, I have this Superstars mod game that it plays in the Revenge style, but it has all the old wrestlers from the 80s and 70s.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
some kind of patch, some kind of emulator thing that they put on the computer, and yeah, it's fun. It's
That's
fun.
awesome. I've heard about that. I don't have a computer that's good enough to run that, but I've heard
Hmm.
about that. That seems pretty awesome.
Yep, and it runs off the 64 controller. I got the 64 controller USB running to the computer, and man, it's so fun, man.
Nice, nice.
We talked about what was all this about and what this was about with Goldberg in the ring of counterweight. I got sensations.
I'm telling you, who was that girl in the red?
Oh, in the red.
You can't see her. She behind all of them.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Get him out of here. Well, they've been here for 3 weeks. They have been at ringside. They have been just watching. But now, I guess, physically involved with wrestlers in the ring. They can come out. Well, that tells me right there, after being powered by Sid after having the shoved out of his throat, he gets outside the ring and picks a fight with the outsiders. This man is man. This man is ready. Sid, watch this man. Be afraid. Goldberg, saying to you, be afraid.
So a couple years back, K Fabulous and we did a watch along for a movie called Santa's Sleigh. It's a horror comedy that stars Bill Goldberg as an evil Santa Claus.
Oh Lord.
So it's worth checking out our watch along of it. It's a great movie. I mean, it's great fun if you like bad movies.
Santa Slay.
Santa's Sleigh, SLAY, SLAY.
Okay.
But oh man, yeah. And we did a watch along of it 2023 or 2024. I forget when, but it's on YouTube still if you want to check it out.
Gotcha.
And you can get that movie on wherever, Amazon and wherever, But it's fun. It wasn't like terrible, like it's supposed to be funny, you know what I mean? And so I guess it's good. It's not bad. It's goofy and it's good. Because they did what they were going for. It was supposed to be funny and violent, and it was.
What a buzzkill.
Kicking the outsiders out.
Mm-hmm. Now they're literally going to be the outsiders. You all right? You kind of got a cough tonight.
Yeah, it's been rainy and everything here, and I've been outside working and stuff.
Yeah.
Shooting videos in the rain and the mist.
I got you.
Told them they ain't gonna see me for the next 2-3 days. I'm gonna be on lockdown in here. I'm worn out.
Hey, man.
All right, here's what happened moments ago.
Yeah, I drove. Like I said, my mom was in the hospital. I drove back and forth. We live in different cities, and I drove back and forth a couple times yesterday between the hospital and her house to take care of her dog. And then I stayed at her house last night and then today I was back at the hospital all day and came back to our house. So I've been
Back
doing
and
nothing
forth.
but like driving the last 2 days. So yeah, I'm worn out too. I hear you, but I'm just glad she's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's scary. She just called us yesterday and was like, "I'm in the emergency room," and yeah, she's had heart problems in the past, but this doesn't. It doesn't seem to be that. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. My dad has heart problems. So every time he tell me he going to the VA, I'm like, oh Lord. I had to fuss at him because sometimes he'll end up going to the VA and I don't find out till the day afterwards because he tries not to worry. So I'm like, Daddy, come on now. We got to know what's going on with you.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, it was up to me.
Yeah, people take care of your health out there. You never know. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yes, please.
Oh shit.
Sting and Gold. Sting and Bret Hart. Mm.
It's cold out. I'm sick as it is. I would think that you would not want to stay.
You would think.
I don't think Sid Vicious is going to take a bad fight to anybody.
Think we got another match coming up, maybe.
Possibly.
They may both look in the hot.
We've had 4, so we got 8 more matches to go. Oh, Berlin, formerly known as Alex Wright.
Another guy that was good in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Berlin and his big German sausage. Have you ever been on these shows where we talked about Alex Wright?
No.
He's got a really big dick.
Yeah.
That's been our joke. Him and his German sausage. Because he used to wear those really tight tights so you could see everything.
See all the print.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's this other show that I watch on YouTube called Wrestling Bios, where
Yeah.
they talk about reliving the wars. He does like a 30-minute clip of going back and forth between WCW Nitro and Raw, and then he rates them at the end, and he has a song and everything about the Brocksworth of this guy.
Really?
Yes.
I've not seen that.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It's a true fact.
He does it every Thursday, and he's been doing it for 4 years, and it's getting ready to come to an end now because we're in the year 2000 now. So I'm figuring after Vince buys WCW, it'll be over with.
That's pretty cool, though. I've wanted to figure out, and I don't think it's possible, but I wanted to figure out how to do something to kind of mimic what it used to be like switching channels between the 2 shows on a Monday night,
Yeah.
But that would be impossible to do on the internet like this. It would be impossible because I've tried to figure out how to do it, and you can't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
People would never understand. The younger generation would never understand that.
Yeah, they don't know what it was like. You'd be so afraid you were going to miss something,
Mm-hmm. We ain't have 2 TVs side by side or a phone you can have on one and the other. Nah. You'd be like, dang, should I go back? You just be click. No, all you hit was the last button, just so you could save time trying to type in the numbers. Just hit the last button.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
I saw earlier today that it's Scott Steiner's son, Mark Henry's son, and Titus O'Neil's son is in the development center for WWE.
Oh, that's cool. I knew about Scott Steiner's, but I didn't know about the other two. That's cool. They've definitely got some young talent coming in WWE.
The Wall.
Wall turned out to be pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
Pretty good big guy.
I want to see where this temper by Goldberg is going to end up. I want to see. Sid's got a temper too.
Yeah, Alex Wright got a repackaging, and he's like I don't know what his gimmick's supposed to be. He really loves Germany now, and he's bad. So I
Yeah.
guess that's his gimmick. And he's got a stupid haircut.
But it seemed at one point like they was trying to give him a push back in the day too with this character.
Definitely.
If I'm not
definitely.
mistaken. Because I remember seeing him on TV a lot back then.
Mm-hmm. No, I like him. I mean, he's still good. Who is this? Brad Armstrong coming after Berlin. Oh. Nope.
Is that what we're doing? That's what we're doing.
Armstrong wants a piece of Berlin. How about that big bodyguard? He made a mistake. Boy, did he walk with him with that chair. Brett Armstrong came in a personal vendetta that he lost. Steiner lost. And Brett Armstrong. That's your mind thrown. First lesson you learn in life. Your mouth shut. Your eyes open. Brett Armstrong is now.
Telling you, his son gonna be a major star.
Who is that? Oh, Rick Steiner.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. Not always my favorite type of character, just like the big strong man.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most interesting character, but all that aside, he's great in the ring, you know.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can find some different, you know, some character to give him, you know. Just a little bit would be nice, you know.
Yeah. The fuck?
Drinking cough syrup, but I think that's over the counter cough syrup.
So I guess I'll take it from here. Back in the day, around this time, cough syrup was a thing. You would drink it, you would mix it on to other things. They would portray it called as lean, and it would get you kind of toe up. So it looked like that's what Big Sexy is trying to do, get toe up off the cough syrup.
Yeah. Oh, I know about lean. I know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah. And purple drink.
That purple drink.
I know it was big. I know it was big in Houston, you know, with Mike Jones and all them.
Yeah.
And put Jolly Ranchers in it and Sprite. But see,
that's
what was messed up is they would put alcohol in it, and you can't mix alcohol and opiates, you know.
And that's what messed up Pimp C, and Lil Wayne ended up in the hospital a couple times because he was mixing alcohol with it.
Yeah, you can't do that. Can't do that out there, people. If you're gonna abuse things, make sure you abuse one thing at a time. That's my advice.
Some people just go overboard with stuff.
Yeah, because that's what killed. What was his name? Was there a guy named DJ Screw?
Yeah, the
He
dude that was on
died.
stage. Yeah.
He died. Well, here the Nature Boy is waiting for Kimberly in her hotel room.
Who is that? Nelson Kelso. What's up, bro?
Oh yeah, what's up, man? Just talking about cough syrup, Kelso. That's all. Oh, there's one of the Insane Clown Posse. That's Shaggy 2 Dope.
Shaggy.
Here's the package. We just saw it. Goldberg left all the play, Poseidon spell. Of the 25 glories here, I would want to be in your shoes. Where you go, Zabisco, you can beat up all the clown and launch the whole fire together for all I care. Because I'm the total package. Where was me? I came back looking better than ever off the bicycle, and I've fucking so much adversity. You think them breaking monitors and everyone wants to do, and they go on taking back. I've wrestled every killer, every giant, every big man in the sport.
The scissor. That's right.
Yeah, sipping on some scissor.
Professional wrestling. I've been doing it for 15 years. And if you think that kind of thing scares me,
Well, there was the hydrocodone, and then there was the promethazine, and either of them would get you fucked up, but some of them had both,
Yeah.
and that was the good one. That would get you tore up, as they say, toe up.
Miss Elizabeth. I tell you, for some reason, when she got to WCW, she didn't look the same as she did. She was like, I don't know, maybe more glamorous in WWE or WWF at the time.
She was on drugs in WCW. That could be it. A big part of it,
You're right.
God, there's so much stuff happening. I can't even write it all down.
Yeah, Vince Russo is rapid firing on this show.
So Sid and the Lawyers came out to the ring. Oh, this is since my last update. He stuffed the contract in Goldberg's mouth. Goldberg got up and went after Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in the front row. Hall and Nash got thrown out. Sting and Bret Hart got into a locker room fight. The Outsiders got kicked out some more. Goldberg went around looking for Sid. Berlin beat Rick Steiner after Brad Armstrong tried to attack Berlin and got Rick Steiner got hit by a chair shot from the wall. Rick Steiner beat up Brad Armstrong after the match. We saw the Outsiders drinking cough syrup. Ric Flair was in Kimberly Page's hotel room and said he's going to give her a 14-time spanking like her daddy should have given her. Goldberg attacked the Insane Clown Posse. Lex Luger and Elizabeth did an interview in the locker room. Medusa and Moto were shown getting ready for their nightgown match. And now I think we're doing David Flair versus Billy Kidman.
There we go.
So that's what's going on. And we are at 1 hour, 5 minutes, 45 seconds on October 18th, 99 Nitro. David Flair, if you've never seen him wrestle, he's awful. He is terrible.
Yeah, don't expect a Nature Boy match. But I wish we could have seen that of the little one, man, because they said he had potential. Reed Flair.
Mm-hmm. And I'll let the dog out. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Yep, so we have David Flair versus Billy Kidman. Monday Night Nitro watch along, October 18th, 1999, Monday Nitro, WCW. Vince Russo's first Monday Nitro in charge. Gosh, David's not even built like a wrestler. This looks so clunky.
on this program. And a program that's already
Yeah,
Campbell was great.
oh yeah, David Flair's terrible. Nothing he does looks right. Terrible. Well, that suplex wasn't bad. Oh,
would give it now, but it gets you leg. I think Goldberg's gone into every room in this building. Gone. Yeah, but can you believe a clown? Well, one would tend not to, but
Even his bumps look unorthodox, man.
yeah.
But once again, in the Vince Russo era, he's going to start getting a lot of TV time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
from behind.
David Flair won't even sell shit. He can't sell shit. He's terrible,
Mm-mm.
man.
Mm-mm.
He's terrible.
Putting down hard.
And it's
Wow.
like Billy had to literally lift him up for that.
Yeah. Terrible.
Ooh. Really? David is not worth a beat down.
The whole locker room should come out and beat him down.
Gosh, Eddie was so smooth.
Mm.
I would say that. Laying there almost unconscious.
I forgot that used to be a thing Ray did, the Bronco Buster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me
I
too.
always think of X-Pac when I see that shit.
Mm-hmm. And then everybody started doing it, especially like women, smaller women would do it.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Filthy animals. Kings 55. That's a Jason Williams jersey.
I was trying to figure out who it was. Yep.
White chocolate.
Right.
I think he's right down there.
Down where?
So if we go back to the arena, it's now time for, I think we can safely say this, brand new team of WCW has put their stamp on Monday Nitro like never before.
There we go. The evening gown match or whatever they're calling it.
The only way you can win it is you have to rip the evening down off your opponent. It's going to come right there. Everything. Monday.
So one thing I will say negative about Vince Russo is he only used women for sex. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm fine with using women for sex appeal. That's fine with me. But like use them for wrestling too, Like I would like to see both. Maybe it's not politically correct to say that nowadays, but I don't give a fuck, you know. I'm a man. I like seeing women. Sue
Yeah.
me, you know.
But at the
Uh,
same time, there really wasn't too many female wrestlers in the. You had Medusa. They didn't really have too many real female wrestlers. A lot of them was just eye candy.
True, but I mean, they didn't even sign in it. They never didn't even
Yeah,
try to have a women's division, and they could have.
yeah, they could have.
But that's what Russo did in WWF's women's division. Made it all just about sex.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not a prude. I'm fine with some sex in my wrestling. I just don't think that's the only way women should be used.
But with that being said, these two women could go.
Yeah,
If
yeah. These were actually wrestlers, right?
like
I mean,
they could
this
put,
is
they should be able to put on some kind of decent match here and still have,
Mhm. Medusa's not even wearing an evening gown. Bam. And
Medusa
Medusa,
is one of them girls I would have loved to see in today's women's divisions.
mhm. Yeah, great women's wrestler of the '90s and 2000s here. Oh wait, well this was '99. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for those of you who are new to us here, we're watching. Go to Monday Nitro Season 5, October 18th, '99, and we are 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 second in. So just a bit. Oh, nice suplex. Just a little over halfway through Nitro. And still got Goldberg versus Luger to come and Sting versus Bret Hart.
Better suplexes than some of the men.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta plug my phone in. 1 second.
Yep.
You really think I really wanted this evening gown match? A lot of people behind here can really kiss my ass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can remember as a kid wondering if a lot of stuff would feel real to me. Like felt like it was a real moment right there. Like she was really
Mm-hmm.
mad about having to do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sting still look good, but he does not have the muscles that he had in the early 90s.
Yeah. I guess we're doing Sting and Bret Hart next.
And that was my guy right there, though. I ain't gonna lie. I was a big Bret Hart fan.
Oh yeah.
But Sean just trumped him for me, but Bret was a close number 2 for me.
I think. Well, I don't know what the main event is. Maybe Goldberg and Luger. I don't know what the main event is now.
Probably so. Because
Yeah.
Goldberg probably would have been their top
Yeah.
face at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday Nitro. Tickets to box office and Ticketmaster. Check out ticket to the Aztec box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Here comes Bret Hart. I think we can all agree that Bret Hart deserves a chance to become the WCW heavyweight champion. He's back into this one. He said finally it's going to happen. If a man's going to get this 100 shot, it's of course in one and only world championship. Let's not forget. Interview conducted earlier tonight, Bret Hart said, to mine today, he said, listen, if I win the title here tonight, I will face Hulk Hogan coming up this Sunday at Halloween Havoc. Now, already tonight, the Filthy Animals have come away with a major upset, defeating Harlem Heat, and we know that the signed them. In place of Harlem Heat, will face their first family this Sunday. It would happen again on this very predictable, brand new perfection for WCW Monday Night. Brand new Monday night. Bret Hart is capable of beating anybody in this business anytime he puts those tights on. I know Sting knows that, but I wonder what Jay has planned for Hart. You saw an interview talking about the same interview with Hart said, I'll give Hogan the shot for the world title this Sunday.
Man, Sting used to be so popular. We K Fabulous and I were at his retirement match last year. Or wait, what? Yeah, last year. Yeah. That was the best wrestling show we've ever been to.
I like how they did that last match for him.
Mm.
You think that WWE would ever put Tony Schiavone in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, that's a great question. I think they should. I think it'll be a while,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they definitely should. He not just what he did in WWF, but what he did for WCW. He definitely belongs there. Yeah.
Looks over, can Bret Hart win tonight? He wants to get the early innings on Sting. He's made the performance. He knows what he has to do. The champion but gotta go back forward. You better get the first 6 seconds. And what's that? You feel like this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Remember, Bret Hart is up there.
I imagine this will probably be the best match of the night. I think the best one so far has probably been Harlem Heat and the Filthy Animals.
Yeah.
most of them hadn't gone long enough to really be much, you know.
Exactly. I'm
Hard
trying.
hard to hard to rate them, you know.
I'm trying to research something. It says that Sting turned heel at Fall Brawl in 1999.
Hmm.
Fall Brawl sounds like it would be in the fall, so that would be after this, because I
No,
heard him say that Sting still has fans. So was this
September.
September? Okay, so they did try the heel turn. Okay,
Hmm.
because Bobby had just said Sting still has fans, so I was like, okay, maybe he's still supposed to be heel in this, but they're still cheering for Sting.
Hmm. Yeah, it didn't really work. It didn't last very long. It's a really bad idea, if you ask me. You know.
Yeah,
Everybody else though, with that real shy look on his face and that little fur haircut. This man is exactly what you see. That's the way he is. He's always been that way, huh? And I'm really gonna tend to agree with him. He seems to be in the government right now. This is a very interesting working environment we've got here. And now go.
Yeah, Bret Hart, one of the best. Of course, got November '97 got screwed in his final match in WWF. Signed a huge contract with WCW, and that was one of the blows that really allowed WCW to keep dominating WWF in the ratings for a little bit, for about 4 or 5 more months until Stone Cold really became huge.
yeah, we might have to put like a little 15 or 20-minute show together debating that screw job. Was it justified and stuff?
That'd be cool. Yeah, we've never really talked about that on this show. I think that's the first time I've ever mentioned it, honestly.
Okay.
And that was a big part of wrestling history. A lot of
Hmm.
things happened because of that, and yeah, it just makes you wonder, what if,
Yeah, tons of what ifs.
Mhm.
I think that was one of my factuations with Bret Hart. He can make Pink look so fucking cool.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, he's great. I mean, top five ever for me,
I
Bret
can't
Hart.
complain with that.
I'd honestly probably I put Ric Flair number one and Bret Hart number two. I think that's just my personal, who I like.
Is that based on just what personality or ring work or
Both, just who do I like? Who do I enjoy the most?
Mhm.
Overall.
And this is a really a pay-per-view type match right here. Well,
Hmm.
matchup.
Hmm.
You got the sharpshooter versus the Scorpion Deathlock. Yo, Brett was so good at selling too, yo.
Yeah, exactly. I think two of the best at selling, if you ask me, Bret Hart, and we just saw him last week, Terry Funk.
Oh yes.
You know, and Mick Foley. If you're going off of Terry Funk, I think Mick Foley borrowed a lot of how he sold from Terry Funk.
A lot of it, yeah.
And this is still in the era of signs. And I tell you what, I've been noticing more and more signs lately in wrestling.
I was gonna say something earlier. Yeah, yeah. Back in the day, that was the thing. I remember when me and my own girl I went to my first match with my girl, and me and her made up 4 signs.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I'd done that. I would always just make one. I think one time I made 2.
Yeah. She got seen on TV. They didn't see me. Of course, she had a big old Cena joint up, so she got a little screen time.
Last time we went, we made a no bones about wrestling sign, but I don't think we got on TV. That was an AEW show. I think it might have been a collision. Might have been an AEW collision.
Oh, I'm so glad that thing going back to 2 hours this week.
Yeah,
We
dude.
struggled in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. I couldn't take another week of 4 hours. It's just, I mean, I love AEW, but 4 hours is too long. That's too much. For the pay-per-views, it's fine. I mean, because whatever. I still wish they weren't 4 hours, but whatever. Apparently, they're gonna be. So, but yeah, 4 hours just for 2 weeks in a row. That's too much, man. Too much. I was ready to go to bed last Thursday, or last Wednesday. I mean,
Uh-huh. As soon as that show was like, all right, let's get these ratings on. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep. So for those of you just joining us, watching Monday Nitro, you go to season 5, October 18th, 99, and we are at 1 hour, 29 minutes, 37 seconds in. So I got about 51 minutes left. We got Goldberg versus Lex Luger to come. We got La Parka versus Buff Bagwell coming up. You got this world title match still going here.
Which is crazy that this ain't the main event.
Yeah. I mean, I figure Goldberg and Luger may be the main event, and then do something with Sid. Some run in, some Sid run in or something.
I also wonder too because Vince Russo did talk about scheduling and shuffling up the card according to whatever WWE was doing on Raw at the time.
Mm.
So, like, if Raw would have like a certain segment on, then Vince probably wouldn't put a certain segment on. So, like, maybe right now Raw has something that could compete with them. So maybe this is why it went up. But that's what he was doing around this time.
Oh.
Like, I can't stand listening to Vince Russo talk, but I do watch his podcast every once in a while because even on there, you never know what the hell he's going to say.
Yeah.
He knows he's kind of in trouble. He's going to take him out now. He's going to take him out, I think.
If any of you are a wrestling fan from the 90s, there is no way y'all can't tell me that y'all didn't at least have a stuffed animal, a best friend, a brother that you tried the sharpshooter on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, everybody did that. Man, if you really laid it in, that shit hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
shit
why it's one
hurt.
of my favorite ones. Like, it was so believable. Put that on. I hit my brother with it one time. He was screaming.
Yeah, because everybody who did it, they were like, I want to see how much it really hurts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
You lean back with that thing. Oh yeah, it adds some pain.
Yeah. Oh. So there's something I forgot about happening tonight. I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a return to WCW that happens.
Hmm.
And that's all I'll say. I don't want to give anything more away. But I don't know. Like I said, I tried not to look up too much about this show because I really didn't want to know what happened going into it. But that is one thing I saw that happens tonight.
I got the advantage. I ain't seen these shows since they aired. Since they aired, I haven't seen them. Sting had hops too.
Russian leg sweep. And a lot of the stuff I'm talking about tonight, I get out of this book, Nitro. I've talked about this a lot on the show here. Nitro by Guy Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Very thick book about WCW, especially the Nitro era, as the title would have you think. Very good. I would highly recommend this book. If you like WCW, it's really interesting, and he talks to wrestlers and writers and everybody. Talks to everybody.
Executives.
Yeah. We got Lex Luger in there. Oh, that's that.
Mm-hmm. Real quick. Oh, that was good. That was good. I could have did without the interference, but I guess they're trying to sell Sting as a heel, so.
Mm-hmm.
But pay attention. Listen to that crowd.
Mm-hmm. So another update. We saw David Flair versus Billy Kidman. Terrible match. Kidman won with a shooting star press. He pinned David Flair. Then the Filthy Animals attacked David Flair. Then the Outsiders were still looking for Goldberg. Ric Flair arrived at the arena. We had an evening gown match between Mona and Medusa that ended, I guess, in a no contest because Medusa quit. Then we just had the world title match, Sting versus Bret Hart. Lex Luger interfered with a baseball bat, hit Bret Hart. Sting won with a submission to the Scorpion Deathlock, and now Ric Flair has caught up with his son, and I don't know what's going on. Ric Flair's recapping the show now.
Yep. Gosh, that storyline could have been so much better with Rick and his son, man.
I enjoyed it, honestly. It got crazy.
I gotta see more of these just to really remember, man.
Yeah. Outsiders disguising themselves as Los Villanos.
Oh man. That guarantee money. Do what you want.
Is in the ring, and the next matchup. Let's go back and take you back to what happened in Thunder this third day of the back on the market. They were tag team partners against the total package champ Rick Steiner, the chairman of WCW.
Parka, baby.
The chairman.
Mm.
Taxi partners who didn't shake eye to eye against the man who was the number one about an hour ago and looked very well and proved himself. Yeah. What's bothering him?
Fluff in pretty good shape right here. I believe he was on the steroids. That's just a guess. That's just a guess.
Might have tapped in with Scott a little bit. Scott Steiner.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if Scott Steiner was injured or what the deal was, but he's not on this show here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know he was injured during this time. I don't know if it was around this specific time, though.
Yeah.
Buffy's never come out like this. No, he looks as a huge difference. I gotta go.
Oh man, I wish I had wrote it down. There was a backstory about this match, and I cannot remember what it was. Ah man, I'm so sorry. Parker looking a little heavy.
The heaviest cruiserweight in WCW. I don't know if he counts as a cruiserweight even. I don't think so.
Russell, we know that. See, it really disgusting. He tells his opponent, LaParca, to get up. Midsection to the side headlock belt. Get that side headlock on, Bray, but his focus is not on his. Runs over against him. Well, maybe get some offense going here. There's definitely a problem. Sitting on the apron belt. As LaParca just works over it. Well, heck, he's not even like that right now.
Yeah, this one, and we'll talk about it after. Like you said, there's a lot of debate over this. What happens here in this match?
Yeah, I couldn't remember where I was watching. I watched so many of those daggone wrestling podcast stuff. I can't remember where I heard it or who I heard it from, but I just remember there was something with this. I just have no idea what it was.
So yeah, LaParca's supposed to, or Buff Bagwell rather, he's supposed to be showing everybody how pissed off he is. Oh, here it is.
You know what? Who else can bend it? Won't you tell that if you get bent?
Supposed to be showing the new writers how pissed off he is that he had LaParca beat him. There's the dance. Here we come.
Slap nut.
Bam!
Slap nut. I don't give a fuck. Y'all say what y'all wanna. I fucks with Jeff Jarrett. Okay.
How is it that last night, less than 24 hours ago, I was in Cleveland, Ohio, wrestling on a pay-per-view, and tonight I'm here live on Monday Nitro.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett really burned his bridges with this.
He did because he held Vince McMahon up for more money before that match.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot, yeah. Damn, yo. And Jeff still going today.
Yep.
Even though they haven't been putting him on AEW TV that much, which I thought they would have, being that this is supposedly his last year.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Like I would have put money on him winning the Owen Hart tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, but, it's a big deal because Buff Bagwell, they acknowledge, the writers, which wasn't a thing that used to happen, them talking about the
Mm-hmm.
writers on TV. And then if then there was a question, of, well, if that's real, what on the show, is the rest of the show not real either? Or is the rest of the show real? So everybody else is just fine with winning and losing? Or is the rest of the show not planned? It didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it was interesting. It was something different to try, but. And then Buff Bagwell wasn't very happy with it. He wasn't very happy with it. And, he said to Vince Russo, he said, why don't we do, if you really want people to be shocked, why don't you have La Parka beat Goldberg, But that wasn't going to happen. He was like, why don't I just come out and do my thing? He was like, don't you think more people would want to see me do my thing and do my dance and hit the blockbuster on La Parka than care about La Parka beating Buff? But that's what they did, is they had La Parka beat Buff, so.
Joined by Shane Douglas, who's joining us here at the broadcast location.
So I don't know what we got here.
Guys, how you doing tonight?
Triple threat, or I don't know.
Hey, Revolution is going great. I'm just out here to show my part of support. Hey, being the guy that built Philadelphia and kept wrestling alive in this godforsaken city, I can tell you this much. The revolution is not stopping for anybody here in WCW. We're going to take it by storm. I made this statement when I came here, and I stand by that statement. We will succeed in WCW.
For those of you just joining us, watching Monday Nitro, it's season 5, October 18th, 99. We are at 1 hour, 45 minutes, 25 seconds.
Hold them together. You're the man to do that.
Got about 35 minutes left here in the show, where we don't know what the main event is. We think it's Goldberg versus Lex Luger, but we really don't know.
We don't. And the reason we don't know is because it's a Vince Russo show.
Right. So I guess this is a triple threat. I don't know what this. I think it is.
Is this revolution going to take over regardless of Chris Benoit?
First, look at the aggressiveness in Perry Saturn. That's the kind of aggressiveness that WCW.
I hope Perry Saturn doing a little bit better. Last I heard, he wasn't doing too good.
Yeah.
He was an awesome dude in the ring, too.
Mm-hmm.
There is no dissension.
Man, it's so different seeing Eddie Guerrero nowadays, and especially seeing him back on WCW,
Yeah. I just think it won't be too long before him and others be like, bump it, take their talents to, what's that, Connecticut?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that fast forward to when Russo gets sent home. Doesn't get fired because he has a contract. He gets sent home, and Kevin Sullivan takes back over as booker. And then Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Perry Saturn all ask for their release. And in a really stupid move by WCW, they all are granted their release, and they all sign with WWF, and that really was the nail in WCW's coffin to just let those 4 talents leave. Really stupid.
And not only that, if I'm not mistaken, I think they had the nerve to put the belt on Chris Benoit
Yes, they
when they
did.
didn't have to, knowing
Yes,
he was
they
leaving.
did. Well, he and Kevin Sullivan hated each other. And Kevin Sullivan, because Benoit stole Sullivan's wife,
Right?
and Kevin Sullivan just wanted to show Benoit, look, even though I'm in charge, there's no hard feelings. Look, I'm gonna make you world champion. But Benoit didn't give a fuck. But that was Benoit's first world title.
Yep.
Yeah, and he held it for like, I don't even know, a day, 2 days, something like that.
If that.
Yeah.
Spirit that he's always brought to the ring, and I guess many fans can say now that he has to go with that ability in the ring.
So that's what it was too. A lot of them was mad that Russo was gone because Russo was trying to push a lot of the mid card up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe they felt like Sullivan was going to revert back to the old heads being in the main picture.
Exactly, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yes, you are. As Saturn continues in the submission hole here on Eddie Guerrero.
Good facial, Saturn.
Getting up, pulling back down, but here comes Eddie Guerrero. Been a big night for the filthy animals, bro.
Shay, how does that affect your thinking when there's so many rumors going around about all this tension in the revolution?
Because you'll notice Hulk Hogan not on this show, and NWO not together, and I believe very soon. No, never mind. I was about to say something that doesn't happen. Never mind. But you'll notice those things at least. Where like you said, Vince Russo's trying to change who's featured.
Mm-hmm.
This match has been pretty nice here.
It has.
And yeah, getting to see Chavo, Eddie, and Saturn in the final hour of the show, Pretty big spot for all 3 of these guys.
No question about it. These 3 men are crossing the line here in Philadelphia, and they're really going to prove a point here to the folks here that this is one hell of a tough wrestling match. It's one thing to wrestle one-on-one, and tough guys here in WCW like Goldberg and like Big Sid Vicious and like Perry Saturn, but when you've got 2 other guys trying to beat you down, now you're going to find out what makes real men do.
Let me ask you what you think about tonight's program. I mean, it's a little bit different look for WCW Monday Nitro. We think it's been exciting.
I think it's been an incredible night here in WCW, and it certainly has been the first step of WCW regaining.
And another interesting thing to think about. I'm trying to think if ECW was still in business at this point, because they're in Philly.
Find out.
I can't remember if they were still in business October '99.
You have to get in the ring with Goldberg. Oh, it's not that problem.
Yeah, nice match here.
It's a 2 count to say that. Yeah. It's not just Bill Goldberg tonight. It's Bill Goldberg on a mission. After what Sid Vicious did to him.
So they was still in business. They didn't go out of business till 2001 when they filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy later that year, and WWE relaunched ECW in 2006.
Yeah. Oh. Oh shit. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God. That wasn't good. Jeez. Christ. Chavo Guerrero almost died there.
Yes.
For real. That was terribly mistimed. That was scary.
It didn't look right on the top of the rope anyway.
Yeah. Oof.
Good gosh. I know.
Hope he's okay. Yeah. His neck. Oh. Filthy Animal is all over this show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Won the tag belts. Kidman got a win.
Yeah, they've been out there a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Run-ins.
Yeah, that's the way. Big man, right? The back up once again. Why did you get this guy here? Why did you get this guy here? Why did you get some more people? Come on, Tony, why did you help them? Conspiracy here. And you know it.
Well, Chavo Guerrero is alive, so that's good.
You trying.
Wow. Oh, nice frog splash.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Oh, this is an elimination match.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I was about
Wow.
to say that used to be his finisher.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a lot in that match.
Yeah.
Let's come on back. No avoiding the kill package. Still a ton.
Man, oh man.
So yeah, Ric Flair found David Flair. The Outsiders disguised himself as Los Villanos, still looking for Goldberg. La Parka beat Buff Bagwell, who let La Parka beat him in a squash match. Jeff Jarrett returned, hit Buff Bagwell with a guitar that exploded over his head. Then we just saw the triple threat elimination match where Chavo Guerrero Jr. almost died. Perry Saturn got eliminated first. Eddie Guerrero hit a frog splash, but got the tornado DDT. Chavo won. After the match, the Filthy Animals came in and beat Chavo down. That is what we've seen the last, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. A lot of shit going on. I got so many pages and
Bruh, it's a lot. A lot. Good
it's a lot.
gosh. And Nitro was still 3 hours at this time?
Yeah. So we end up with what, 2 hours, 35 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
2 hours, 20 minutes. Yeah. And for those of you just joining us, we're watching Monday Nitro, October 18th, 99. We are at 1 hour, 56 minutes, 3 seconds. So yeah, I got 24 minutes left. And the video game I said earlier was Backstage Assault. That was a game, but it's not the one I meant to talk about. It was Mayhem.
Mayhem?
Mayhem was
I
the
didn't
one.
like Mayhem either.
No, that one sucked. It wasn't as bad as Backstage Assault, but it sucked too.
Yeah, I think after those games that we did like and talked about, I think they just they overthought these games after that.
Yeah. Oh, those games. The graphics were worse too.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
They're terrible. Oh, got a hardcore match. Horace Hogan and someone.
Oh, please bring out my boy. Please, I pray it's him. He's so entertaining to me. Let it be him.
Oh, Norman Smiley.
Yes. Is it going to be?
He was in the locker room earlier. Yep.
Yeah. The big wiggle. The big wiggle. That's my guy right there.
Norman Smiley.
Or you don't know. The total package to him also on this coming Friday. November 30th event at Vail Bottle Lodge at Downson Arena. $5 more rates to the main bar. Vail Village Convention Center this Saturday. Tickets on sale for Thunder.
Yeah, that was my dude back then. I rocked with Norman.
Yeah, definitely entertaining. Multi-time hardcore champion too. WCW's hardcore division was pretty fun.
I thought it was. Norman
Eventually
took some punishment.
ended up with these two and Hugh Morris, Brian Knobs, Terry Funk was in there.
Yep.
Well, they need to be quite a weekend that we have before us, and it's been a breathless Monday Nitro leading into this. I don't think I've ever witnessed a Nitro just the Monday before the pay-per-view.
Do you think there was any way for Horace Hogan to capitalize off of Hulk Hogan's name to be in a better position? Because he did not live up to anything I thought he was going to end up being.
I think so. I mean, I think he did because I don't think. I mean, he never ended up with anything great, but I don't think he would have ended up even where he was without being Hulk Hogan's nephew, honestly.
I see. I got you.
So I think he did about as well as he was going to be able to. He was, you remember a couple years before this, he was in Raven's Flock.
I was about to ask, was he part of the flock? Okay, yeah.
I love the Flock. Oof. Flock was over at this point. I think Raven was back in ECW at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he went back.
But then he comes back to WCW. I forget when that was, but he comes back to WCW. Might have been in 2000. I can't remember.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be thinking about
I'm
before.
trying to think. Did he come back?
Yeah, I can't think. It might have been before he left. I'm thinking about before he left for ECW. I might be thinking about. Norman's having a rough time.
Come on, Norman. You'll figure it out. He'll figure something out at the end. He always does. Why you gotta say it like that? Norman Smiley.
My big complaint about this show is there's too many matches, and I think they change this eventually, but there's just too many matches where it's very one-sided, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's just too much of that for me.
Yeah, Disco's was pretty much like that.
Mm-hmm. This one so far.
Yep.
La Parka.
Yep.
Got a bunch of them like that.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. So they said this might be his first hardcore match ever. So it's after this when he starts ramping it up.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to help break down a ring before?
I never did. I don't know how I got out of that, but no, I never had to set one up or break one down. That's a good question. I never even thought about that. Never had to do it. Well, that was usually the wrestlers and the up and coming wrestlers, and I was never a wrestler, so they didn't make the managers do anything. They just wanted me to show up.
Gotcha.
Oh, Norman gets the win.
My God. My God.
Mhm.
That's a damn shame. I don't think I've ever ran out of paper on a show.
Yeah.
I gotta go to a new page. Norman
That's it.
Smiley. Nature boy.
I guess he's coming to the ring. Yep. Yeah, no, I never even thought about that. You're asking about setting up the ring and taking it apart. Never. Mm,
Yeah, because I saw Hogan go underneath the ring, and I was like, you know what, Asa did used to be somewhat in the business, so
yeah.
maybe he had to pay some dues by putting up a ring. Shoot,
No,
Charles Robinson still tears down the ring to this day.
no, that's just respect by him, I guess. Or enjoying doing it.
Yeah,
Because it's not like he has to.
exactly.
Yeah, no, at a show, I just had to show up and find out who I was managing and find out the finish of the match, and that's it. That was about my job, and then usually end up taking like a bump.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing big, just like one bump.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That was about my job. Nothing real big during the shows. Like I said, my biggest involvement, I mean, it was great to do the shows and actually be a part of the show, but my biggest real involvement was going through the wrestling school.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the most I got into the business, really. It's where I learned the most, is what I'm trying to say.
Man, I wish you would have had some video on that stuff,
I know,
man.
dude. I know, man. Well, see, that's what I was saying.
That would be a joy to watch.
I know, I really wish. Well, this is in 02, 03. This is before everybody had cameras everywhere,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's how I feel about when I was playing basketball in 2000 and 2002, man. I have no footage of that.
Yeah.
I had one tape, but my mama ended up recording. What she recorded I Love Lucy over it. I was so fucking
Oh,
mad.
man.
She did it by accident, but yeah, she recorded I Love Lucy. I was so mad about it.
I got hours of footage of backyard wrestling. I might put that on YouTube at some point.
Hells
I
yes.
might put that on. We did a real show. We had angles and everything.
Fuck yeah.
So I may put that on, but none of the pro stuff. I don't have, and
I'll damn still enough watch that.
none of the pro stuff. All I had to do was give somebody a camera. Oh, here come the filthy animals
You
again.
called it. They are all over this show.
Mm-hmm.
All over it. So yeah, Vince meant he was coming in and we gonna shake some things up.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I can only imagine the fucking heat he had backstage with the old heads.
Yeah. David Flair trying to save his dad does not happen.
I'm telling you though, man, if Charlotte could just get 50% of Rick's promo skills,
Mm-hmm.
it would take her to another level. She's already my favorite female wrestler, but yeah. They about to rob him?
Yep. Taking his roll and his Rolex and all that shit.
I forgot Eddie was rolling with the filthy animals at one time, man.
Yeah.
He didn't have this thing to work to have this happen. They got his socks.
I don't remember if exactly when it happened, but do you remember this? Eventually, it might have been soon after this. Eventually, the filthy animals buried Ric Flair in the desert. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do. I sure do.
I think we might see that in a couple weeks or something.
Yeah, that has to be after this. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Russo took Hogan off TV, and that's why Hogan's gone. And he had a plan to take Ric Flair off of TV
Mm-hmm.
because he wanted to take number 1 and 2, wanted to take those two off of TV and let
Yep.
some of the younger guys get in. And Goldberg was so over, people don't realize,
No, they don't.
unless
They
you were
don't.
there, people don't realize he was no Stone Cold, but he was over.
I see people like the generation of the day. They probably think of his WWF run and stuff,
Right.
but the WCW, especially early WCW, when he was doing it, that dude could have. When he won that belt from Hogan in Atlanta, I think it was Atlanta.
Yeah.
That place went nuts.
Mm-hmm. July 6th, 98. Georgia Dome.
Yep, Georgia Dome. Is that entrance? That's one of the entrances I still use for today. When I do my created player on the game,
Yeah.
oh, you best believe he is standing in some pyro.
So Jeff Jarrett apparently destroyed Miss Elizabeth with a guitar shot.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, he ain't breathe the smoke like the dragon he usually do. I like when he has the smoke come out.
Yeah. That can't be good for you.
It can't be. It can't be. Because he used to have a long stream of that show coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, look at the signs. Look at the signs.
That's what, the announcers said back then. They would go, or not the announcers, the writers, like Vince Russo said, they would look at the arena before the show started and look at all the signs and see what was getting over,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without having social media, that's a good way to gauge it.
Yep.
I've been hearing rumors about Goldberg coming back to, I guess, face Gunther.
That's the rumor.
for his final match.
That's the rumor. Uh, I heard it's going to be. Now, I don't know. This seems kind of quick, but I heard July 12th at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So they're doing, during the day, we're having AEW All In, and we're doing a watch along for that, of course. And then at night, we're not doing a watch along for this, but at night is WWE Saturday night's main event. Well, shit, if it actually ends up being Goldberg's last match, maybe we will. I don't know.
We have to see what the card is.
Yeah.
For y'all that are watching and probably thinking like, yo, y'all are sitting here watching old wrestling and y'all got Monday Night Raw on tonight. Trust me, y'all. Asa hasn't really been watching. I have been. Monday Night Raw is something I have to watch in the morning with a cup of coffee, and I can actually fast forward through certain stuff. So
That's the way I used to watch it. Yeah, when I was still watching.
That's how it is right now. I don't know what they're doing. It's a mess over there right now.
That's the way it seems. Yeah, I hadn't been keeping up with too much. I saw Angel and Berto won the AAA tag team titles, so good for them.
That's good because I like them boys. I like what you call it too, Escobar. But like I said, WWE just they push who they want to push. I remember there was a time where everybody on the card mattered. Like back in the day when Mr. Perfect had the IC belt, you cared. You cared about what was going on.
Right.
And like I said, y'all, a lot of people complain about Lex in the ring, but especially lately with the stuff I've been watching, Lex could go in that ring.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of people just had a problem with him because back then they felt like he was a dick outside of the ring.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. Which I think he changed a lot. That's what I've heard.
He did. And remember, Lex wasn't a wrestling fan when he got in. He came from football too. He had an injury and this was the best way for him to make money, so he got into it. He wasn't no wrestling historian or nothing like that. Which is crazy to talking about how Lex was in the ring. If you really watch, Goldberg didn't have a lot of wrestling moves and techniques.
Right.
But he was still over.
But he and Lex have had a decent match here so far.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, Lex is good. We have seen a bunch of Lex lately, that's for sure. I don't know if that's by accident or what, but he was one of my favorites back then.
Goldberg's son Gabe, he's putting on some muscle mass too. Saw a picture of him recently.
He's supposed to be training to be a pro, right?
I think so. The way he's looking, yeah. The total package.
It's one of the best wrestling nicknames, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
WCW World Champion several times.
U.S. champ. Tag champ.
Never won one belt in WWF. Nothing.
Damn,
not even a tag team belt.
He didn't.
Mm-mm. Which I couldn't believe. He was one of my favorites back in like the mid '90s, early and mid '90s, and I kept cheering for him to be world champion or at least like tag champ with Davey Boy Smith, and nothing, never.
Nothing.
Or King of the Ring or something. He never won anything. He won the Royal Rumble and tied with Bret Hart that
Tied
year.
with that.
So that was the only thing they ever let him win, really.
I've been trying to see what's on the back of Goldberg's tights. I can't read it.
Does it say? Oh, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here come the outsiders. They're drunk on NyQuil. Team something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sipping on some scissor.
Okay, that's going to turn things around. That time, KD ring post flex. The total package.
Uh-oh. Hey, Kayla.
Regardless of Mike, you are that bat. Anyone. And you're right. Did you believe it? Hurry to Bret Hart. Here comes Bret Hart. Look, on one leg.
That's how you do it. Still selling that leg.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Ooh.
Now the referee is still there. What the total package up there? The total package. Literally a suit up there. You can barely make it to ringside.
Bell hasn't rung yet, right?
Nope. Still going. Oh.
Up.
Bam.
Damn, that was quick.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That was a quick show.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you. We still got a little to do here, some housekeeping, but thank you for watching Nitro. We're gonna do it every Monday. So, as I said, they kept talking about Halloween Havoc. We watched that already back in 03 or 04. So find it on YouTube. Halloween Havoc '99. We did a watch along for it, so check it out. And next week we're gonna be back with October 25th, '99 Monday Nitro. But let me go through. I'm not going to go through all the angles because we'll be here all night. But I'm going to go through the matches real quick. And Switch, if you want to say after I do, say what your ratings were.
I got you.
Filthy Animal. Oh wait, nope. Another page. Juventud Guerrera and Evan Courageous didn't really happen. Non-title match. Cruiserweight champ Disco Inferno beat Vampiro. Hit the Last Dance. I don't know. Squash match? I don't know what to rate that.
I gave it a 2.5.
All right. Filthy Animals won the World Tag Team titles from Harlem Heat. Filthy Animals, they pinned Stevie Ray. New champs. Gave it 3.5 bones out of 5. That was a first good match of the night.
Thought it was a good match too, but I did give it 4.
Oh, nice. All right. Ming versus Hugh Morris. The Outsiders came through the crowd during this one. And Ming pinned Hugh Morris with the Tongan Death Grip. Got the win. Gave this one 3 bones out of 5.
Yep, good match, and I also gave it 3 out of 5.
Berlin beat Rick Steiner. Brad Armstrong tried to attack Berlin. Rick Steiner got hit by a chair shot from the wall, Berlin's bodyguard. And Berlin got the pin on Rick Steiner. And after the match, Rick Steiner beat up Brad Armstrong. But Berlin got the win. Gave that one 3 bones out of 5.
Yep, and I'm in agreement with you. 3 out of 5 bones.
Billy Kidman beat David Flair with a shooting star press, and the Filthy Animals attacked David Flair after the match. I give this 1/2 a bone.
I did 1.
That was
Did 1.
terrible. That's
Yeah,
awful.
and it was nothing against Billy. It was all because of David's selling and just in-ring work in general.
Oh, that was bad. That's one of the worst matches we've ever watched on No Bones About Wrestling.
Yeah.
Evening gown match. Mona versus Medusa ended, I guess, was a no contest. I don't know. Medusa just left. I enjoyed the wrestling. I gave it 2.5 bones out of 5.
I actually gave it 3 bones. 3 bones out of 5. I enjoyed the wrestling, even though it was a quote-unquote nightgown match.
World title match. Sting kept the world title. Lex Luger interfered, and Bret Hart got hit in the knee by the baseball bat, and he submitted to the Scorpion Deathlock. Sting kept the title. I gave that one 4 bones out of 5. I thought it was a good match.
We're in agreement once again. I gave it 4 out of 5 bones for that match. Good match. Pay-per-view type match.
Yeah, definitely. La Parka beat Buff Bagwell in a squash. Buff Bagwell pretty much gave up. And after the match, Jeff Jarrett returned and smashed Buff Bagwell with a guitar. Like I said, just a squash, I thought.
Yeah, I gave that 2 bones. I gave it 2 bones.
Gotcha. We had a triple threat elimination match. Eddie Guerrero of the Filthy Animals taking on Perry Saturn of the Revolution and Chavo Guerrero Jr. There was another Filthy Animals run in. Like, that was the third or the fourth, the third of the night. I don't even know how many there were. And Perry Saturn got eliminated. Chavo Guerrero Jr. almost died trying to do a 3-way move. And then Chavo hit a tornado DDT and pinned Eddie. Chavo got the win, and afterwards the Filthy Animals beat Chavo down. I gave this one 3.5 bones out of 5.
I also gave it 3.5, and if it had by this point, I was kind of tired of the Filthy Animal run-ins. If it wouldn't have been for the run-in, I think I would have gave it a higher rating.
Yeah, I would have given it a higher rating if not for that one spot where Chavo almost died.
Yeah, that too, because it looked like he got folded.
Yeah. Hardcore match. Norman Smiley beat Horace Hogan. I think he kicked Horace through a table. God damn it. Can you still hear me?
Yep, you're back. You're
Wait
back.
1 second.
Yep, so we was talking about the Norman Smiley versus Horace Hogan match. I think what happened was Norman Smiley was lined up on the table and Horace Hogan was running after him, and that's how Horace Hogan went through the table. Norman Smiley, as Tony Schiavone said, Norman Smiley.
Let's see. Goldberg versus Lex Luger. Sting came out to interfere. Bret Hart came out for the save. The Outsiders showed up drunk on NyQuil and passed out on the entrance ramp. Goldberg eventually hit the jackhammer for the pin on Luger. I enjoyed the match. I gave it 4 bones out of 5.
I also gave it 4 bones out of 5.
So, and I would say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say the next part is the overall rating for the show is probably going to be hard for me to rate, but I'm going to let you go ahead on and do your thing.
All right, I'm going to say best match of the night, Bret Hart versus Sting, definitely. Worst match of the night was definitely David Flair versus Kidman. That was terrible. Man, rating for the show overall, Some of the matches weren't that great. There were a couple good matches though. Just the originality of it and trying something new. I'm gonna give it 4.5 bones out of 5. I enjoyed watching it, and like I said about Vince Russo, like him or not, you don't know what the hell's gonna happen on one of his shows. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I could go 4.5, but I think I'm gonna go 4. I thought it was a lot of, like I said, a lot of filthy animal heavy, and
Yeah.
we really only had maybe 2 or 3 matches worth watching. Maybe 4. Yeah, 3 or 4 out of what, 10?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe I thought there were 12, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, like the tag title match, the world title, the main event. That's about it.
Yeah. But as far as this for Vince Russo's first show, I think he did a pretty good job trying to stray away from the old formula.
Mm. So wait,
And it's
what'd you
something
give it? Did I
different.
miss it?
I gave it 4 bones.
Okay, all right.
4 bones out of 5. Yeah.
But yeah, trying something different, and he gets better. I think the shows get better as we go on. So again, folks, if you want to see the Halloween Havoc that they kept talking about, we reviewed it and we did a watch along in either last year, 2023, or excuse me, last year or 2023. So just find it. It's on YouTube, Halloween Havoc 99. And now next Monday, same time, 7:55, we're gonna do Monday Nitro from October 25th of 99. And it says something happens at Halloween Havoc. The world title turns up vacant, so I'm spoiling that a little for you. But then, so next Monday they start a big tournament for the world heavyweight title. I think it's like a 32-man tournament or something like that. I
So
think
maybe
Medusa might even be in it, so it might be 31-man, 1-woman tournament.
what I'll try to do for you, just to help the people watching keep up that haven't seen it, I might see if I can write up a little like a review little thing of what happened on Halloween Havoc. Not nothing long, just state the winners or something. I'll see if I can have that for you by next Monday and
That'd
just
be
read
cool.
that out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I appreciate that. So yeah, was a tournament starts and Jeff Jarrett answers for his actions because he smashed Buff Bagwell with a guitar and apparently smashed Miss Elizabeth with a guitar and left. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
So what do we got coming up this week? Wednesday night, we'll see you next 6:00. K Fabulous and I do AEW Weekly, where we're going to talk about Collision, Dynamite. Going to talk about everything in AEW this past week. Do a top 5 rankings, her fashion report. Going to talk about the news, bunch of stuff. We're going to preview the show in Mexico Wednesday night, and then at 7:55, me, Switch, Wolf, and K Fabulous are going to do a watch along for Dynamite. And it's going. Remember, it's going long on Wednesday. It's going 8 to 10:30 on Wednesday night.
Hey, that's still better than 12.
Yeah, for real. Thursday night at 6:50, we're doing another retro watch along. We're doing WWF King of the Ring 94. We got Bret Hart versus Diesel. We got the 8-man King of the Ring tournament. Going to be a good show. I know it's a good show. And then what else? Saturday, 7:55, AEW Collision watch along. Collision is back. So yeah, we got a lot going on this week. So hopefully you enjoy us. And everything I just said, that whole schedule is on X. So look on there. Just you'll have to scroll down a couple posts, but it's on there. The whole schedule is on X. And tell people who like wrestling to check us out and like this, subscribe, all that stuff. Rate us. That makes a difference. Rate us. And the AEW weekly shows go up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all those places too. So if you don't have time to sit down and watch it, listen to us. We do it for listeners too. AEW Weekly. That's the only show we do for listeners. Also, everything else is watch alongs. But yeah, Switch. You got anything you want to hype real quick before we go?
Nah, y'all just tune in Wednesday. Tune in Thursday. Tune in Saturday at No Bones About Wrestling. Y'all know how we do. Support and show your love.
And then we'll be back here, Switch and I think K Fabulous will be with us next Monday for Vince Russo Monday Nitro. So it's going to be October 25th, 99. And we'll see, does the show get better? Does it get weirder? I think the answer is yes to both. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Use your turn signals out there.
Yep.
And, thank you for watching.
Love, 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 and sending blessings and loves to Linda, to Mama Linda. Get better.
Thank you. Thank you. See you,
All right,
Switch.
bro. I'll holler at you.
Yeah, man.